She's an answered prayer. Okay. Let me just say this. Again, we're talking more off camera than we should be. We should be talking more on camera, but
we have a lot to say to you all.
I mean, really we do, but she's an answered prayer. Okay.
Prayer. She's literally doing God's work out here. Don't even, she know it. She know it because she's intentional about it. But she's definitely doing God's work.
Amen to that.
Period.
But we also know that God deals with levels. Come on now.
Let's talk
about it. And so in order to advance and in order to go and grow, which is one of the things that I say, we're going to go and grow together.
Yes. It
is time for us to advance to our next level. And Faith can't do that all by herself. That's where she comes in. Okay? Yes. Okay, so let me go ahead and get comfortable again.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to take this pillow right here. Okay, yes. Now I'm good and comfortable. So let me just do a little backstory for you guys so you can really understand why it was so important to have Niyah with me today. Okay. First of all, go ahead and plug your Instagram because that's important.
Okay, period. Hey, y'all. So all of my social medias, whether it be Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, and Twitter, they're all Niyah News. Niyah News.
Okay. Make sure you get that. Okay. So I met you. How old were you? What grade were you in?
I was 17.
Okay.
I was either 16 or 17. I was a junior.
Junior year. She was a junior at Central High School. Go Yellow Jackets.
Period.
Whoop, whoop.
What's up?
Okay. Yes. So I met her instantly, and I didn't know her from her middle school, which is where I normally meet young people. Meeting Niyah was a breath of fresh air, honestly. The way she speaks with such intellect and just she's careful with everything that she says. It might be piercing because it's truth. And truth sometimes is hard to take. Y'all ever heard that? What is that saying? The truth hurts?
Yes.
Truth hurts. And this young lady would come into group on some afternoons or some mornings, and she would speak her truth, which was also the truth of her peers. Some of the things that they were going through, whether it was in relationships, whether it was with their peers, friendships, home life situations, everything. This young lady spoke on a level, from a level that was almost adult-like. There were times, and this is truth, I don't know if you knew this, but there were times I was sitting there and just let you do you. Because I knew that she was going to be effective with her words. I knew that what she was saying was coming from a peer, but also from a leader. And the girls listened. And not only did they listen, they received it. So I'm very, very blessed to have her back in my home. We're sitting here at the Tiny Spot. Okay. The Tiny Spot is where dreams have been born. Okay. Let's get that told too. Make sure we understand a lot of wisdom has been poured into the Tiny Spot. Not just for me, but some of these young people that I've had and brought back to talk with me. So, Niyah.
Period. Thank you so much for that, Miss Renee. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate...
It's so true, though, sweetheart.
I appreciate that. And I appreciate the space you provided with JBT. I appreciate the fact that, like, I don't know if y'all know this. I mean, I'm pretty sure people who got to experience JBT know this. But for the audience that hasn't, I do want y'all to know JBT is such a sacred place. It was a place where us as teenage girls could come during school hours and be able to be vulnerable and have a safe space, because Miss Renee don't play that. Like, no tea needs to be spilled outside of this room.
That's right.
The only business that needs to be told and talked about should be told in this space. So
what goes on in JBT
stays in JBT. So it provided such a space that not only did you feel comfortable with being transparent, but you also felt like you was in a place to learn and want to grow. So thank you so much for the foundation that you've set with JBT and the things that you are doing with JBT. Appreciate that.
You are so welcome. And I appreciate that God is going to take this young lady. I'm going to pass you my torch. Okay? I'm going to pass it to you. And one day we're going to come back to this video.
And it is.
Yes. We're manifesting right now, you guys. You guys are a part of a bigger picture you don't even know yet. But I am passing the torch. And as I pass the torch, know that it will be in great hands. And I have all the confidence in this young woman. All the confidence. Yes. So let's just go ahead and chop it up.
Yeah, let's get to the tea.
Like,
so,
I'm ready to talk about everything.
What's
okay,
up?
so first tell me what I already know, but the viewers don't know. Tell me, how was college life and where do you attend school? I already know that, but I want you to let them know.
Period. Okay,
Yes.
so this is the nitty gritty part, y'all. So, y'all, I am a senior at Howard University. I'm a broadcast journalism major.
Okay,
with an English minor.
Yes.
And school is great. I will say my college experience has been different from a lot of other people's college experience, just from the simple fact that the pandemic hit when I was in my sophomore year, March, so spring semester. So we spent about 6 or 8 weeks in school and then had to go home, and then I spent my entire junior year online, and then my first semester of senior year has also been online.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Right. And then, like, you know, y'all don't chop and screw me for this, but it's like, I think it's called the Omicron. Y'all know the new variant. They call it a Marion, but I can't. Yes, I can't really say the new
Which
one.
we'll probably have a new variant every 6 months.
Exactly. So at that point, I don't know if we're going to be able to be virtual next semester, but nonetheless, virtual online school has worked for me. I've made it work, and I've been able to still set out and do what I wanted to do, although my experience has been altered and I haven't been able to participate in school as much because of course we weren't on campus, so there's certain programs you can't do, or certain things you don't want to participate in that are no longer there. But overall, my experience, I've still been able to learn, I've still been able to grow, and I've still been able to accomplish the goals that I've set for. So I'm still appreciating it nonetheless, just getting through it. I am ready to graduate, though. Let me not add that part. I'm ready to graduate today.
Right. As soon as possible.
Yes, please, ASAP. May can't get here fast enough.
Oh, my goodness, it's coming, baby. I promise.
It's
going
to be here fast. It's going to be here fast. I'm like, it's okay.
Okay, so school has been great. What are relationships like? Friendships? What's dating? What's that like?
Dating. Okay, my friendship. I'm going to start off with friendships. I have amazing women around me. They are raw, they are solid, they are loyal, they are intelligent, and they keep me grounded. So shout out to the friends and the people, because my family are my friends. I'm really close with my sister. I'm really close with one of my cousins, and then I have a best friend who I'm extremely close with, and I also have other friends that are around me that are also great people. So let me start off with friendship, because sisterhood is essential. Sisterhood is important. Sisterhood has definitely been fulfilling and is still very fulfilling to me in my life. What are relationships like? Relationships are not romantically. I'm not really involved with anyone right now. I'm definitely open to dating, but I definitely have to have my chips with the dip. Standards have to be met. There are things that need to be done.
Come on.
So I'm a person who is okay. There are some people who do like to talk to men, or like to have, like, not talk to men like that, but I mean like have multiple conversations with multiple people and get to know people. That process can kind of bore me sometimes.
All right, now.
Or it needs to be interesting. Like I'm a person who, like, I love to talk. Yeah, I really do. I love to talk.
But
I love
It
conversation.
needs to be feeding you.
Exactly. And we need to be talking about something. I cannot have 8 what you doing conversations.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying?
Or what you doing right now?
What you doing right now? What you doing here? What you doing today? All of these little conversations where I understand you're trying to get to know me, but we need to have some substance here. And yeah, the girlies can handle that differently. Some girlies can get to know multiple people at one time. I'm not one of those. Not saying it's not okay to date multiple people at one time, because it is. It's okay to get to know multiple people. And I'm not saying, like, if I meet a dude today, I'm just going to be loyal to him. Like, if somebody come tomorrow, I wouldn't be open to them. I'm not saying that, no. But am I can I balance 5, 6 eggs at one time? No, I can't. So, yeah, that dating is just like, it's cool. I'm open to it. Nice candidates come. I allow the chance to flow. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Right. So a guy could come and shoot his shot.
Right.
But
properly.
And he needs to know the game.
Got to know. You got to know what comes with it.
I mean, don't just be out here throwing balls at the basket, dude.
And that's another thing, too, with young men as well. I don't really play the inconsistent games, right? Because I really do. I seen this quote the other day, and I really do love it. I forgot the Twitter girlie who said it, but she said, to you, he's inconsistent. But to him, you're not worth the time and effort.
Oh, say that one more time.
It said to you, he's inconsistent. But to him, you're not worth the time and effort. So that made me pause in my step. And I already didn't play the inconsistent games, but I love when I get on Twitter and somebody puts one of my thoughts into words. And somebody introduces that new piece of advice. So it's like, you know what? Now I really don't play inconsistent games. Like, either you're ready to show up every single day and want to get to know me and pursue me, or we're not going to do this at all.
So you just said a mouthful. So you said either you're going to show up and pursue me.
Yes, I'm the chosen one. See, that's another thing too. I'm not going to do, and I know different girlies have different opinions on this, right? If you a girly who shoots your shot, that fits you. I wish you all the best with that. I am not a girly who shoots their shot. I'm also, like, I believe in the spiritual saying, like, you know, he who finds a wife finds a good thing.
Amen. Come on now.
Not she who searches, but he who finds. So at that point, I understand we all have different spiritual beliefs. So whatever you want to do or however you want to break it down and do it, that works for you. I'm not mad at you, sweetie, at all. Do what works for you. But for me, I'm not doing the pursuing. I'm the catch.
Amen.
You know, so at that point, and I'm not saying there are not great men out
we
here.
should be the catch.
As we should be the catch. Do you see how women transform men's lives or just transform people's lives, period? Especially black women. Let's talk about it, and let's talk about what we did for the world. So, with all of that being said, it's just like, no, I'm not doing the pursuing. And I'm not saying that there are not great men out there. I'm not saying that there are not men who are also the catch. I'm just saying that, like, you need to be ready to pursue me. You need to be ready to show up for me and let me know. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And that's God's law. And that's God's law.
That's law. And that's what we live by. Like I said, for the girlies, if you got different beliefs, that work for you. Let it keep working, babe. But over here, you're going to have to do the pursuing because we the chosen ones.
Amen. That's it right there. Okay. That's it. So let's talk about, oh my goodness, let's talk about being around the table at Central High School.
Being around the table at Central High School is amazing.
Okay. Explain to them what that means for real. Being around the table at Central High School.
Okay.
When we were having JBT.
Okay, so yeah, y'all have to know. Central High School is a historically black high school. Muhammad Ali went there, Albert O. Jones went there, and plenty of other great people went to Central, right? With that being said, there's this stereotype that Central is a fashion show school and other things of that nature. Like, people are literally scared to send their kids there because they feel like it's too much pressure. Yes, it's too much pressure on that. However, I feel like Central was great preparation for the world because it just showed you how to stay in your own lane. There's a lane for you. Central was not like the movies. I'm not saying like any high schools are like this because I just don't know. Like, there may be some high schools that are like this, but Central is not like the movies. There is not just one popular girl or one popular boy. Right. There are plenty of popular people. Yes. Almost everybody is popular. We around black people. Everybody like everybody. Not saying there's not people who don't dislike each other, because there is, but it's just like, it's a setting where everybody's celebrated, everybody's valued, we all having fun, we all showing up. But it comes with its problems, right? So when you're just around black people, yes, you get to escape racism, and we only got to escape that to a certain extent, because Central is different from other HBCUs with the fact that Central has plenty of white teachers. Now, we didn't have as many white administrators when I went there, but there was still a bunch of white teachers that were just really standing their ground on not wanting to leave. And there's great white teachers at Central. Like, you have your Mr. Gutmans, you have your Mr. Gilberts, I had a lady named Miss Kufner, wonderful people. But there are still those times where it's just like, you need those black educators as well. Saying that to say this, racism's out the picture, but you still have different problems. Central, you didn't have problems with elitism because everybody was really in the same socioeconomic class, but you do have problems like colorism. And you just have other petty drama that just comes with humans. Of course, people are growing into themselves, boys. You know, it's only, JBT only allows girls. So at that point, we're getting in there. We are talking about dudes. We're talking about dudes and friendships. That's pretty much it. Because there was a lot of times where people didn't want to necessarily discuss their home life unless it was just with Miss Renee. So when we get at the table, we're just talking about relationships and friendships. And, you know, at that point, everybody's so big on loyalty, 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 loyalty. But they truly don't know how to be loyal. They don't know how to be loyal. They don't know how to actually love a person for the person that they are and want to live by a principle of loyalty. Loyalty takes a lot of work. Loyalty takes a lot of showing up. Loyalty takes a lot of appreciation. The people that I am loyal to, I appreciate them on a totally different level. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate them for who they are, what they bring, and how they affect me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to make it seem like it's always about give and take, but that's what relationships are. Absolutely. It's a lot of give and take. Absolutely. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I know the value of these people. I'm never going to switch up on them. It's certain things I'm just not going to do that I know is going to hurt their feelings. It's certain principles we have to abide by in order for this friendship to be successful. So people would talk about loyalty, but wouldn't know what loyalty was. And then when it came to relationships, you got to know that JBT was just such a raw place, because you talk about relationships, but so many people are getting introduced to sex and seeing how sex is affecting their lives. And, you know, of course, you're dealing with boys, young boys, even
and you have same-sex girls.
Same-sex girlies, you definitely do. Some of the girlies was in relationships with other girlies, and that was different as well, because just, not saying they was exploring. They knew they liked girls, but coming into the world and being able to say it to the world, because it's not easy. It's not easy coming out as gay. It's not easy coming out as trans. It's not easy, you know, being able to get out in the world and have those conversations, or even being willing to be transparent about it. So we definitely respected those girlies. When they wanted to talk about their girlfriends and things they was going through in those relationships, we gave them that place to speak. And it was just like, okay, girl, like, this is different. Like, thank you so much for sharing your experience, because this is not what we experienced. And we might not have friends that are experiencing that, but you telling me something. You're educating me. You're showing me different sides of the same coin, because it's all love. It's all romantic love, and some of the same problems come up. But the boys were cheating. Let's just talk about it. The boys were cheating, and men cheat. Like, there are 15 faithful men left in this world, sweetie.
Not 15.
I'm telling you,
is that all?
15.
That's why I'm single.
And I'm telling you, to get one, you better.
I don't have time for it.
I'm telling you, and to get one, you almost got to pull a Jesus. You fasting for 40 days and 40 nights,
honey.
The prayer is hard. So I'm not saying that to say like you have to settle for cheating. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying realistically, a great deal of men cheat. And I'm also throw this in her too. Cheating is something that comes a lot with like Western world culture, or like other cultures that expect monogamy. Because in other cultures, it's not necessarily that they're cheating. They know that they're signing up for polygamous relationships. So that's the standard, you know.
That is becoming an issue that I'm hearing a lot about.
Really? What they
polygamy. Like,
polygamy?
I will say that I'm thinking of one young man that I'm very, very close to. I won't say his name, but he has said before, and it's just how he feels, that it's unnatural to be monogamous. Yeah. He has said that that's very unnatural to be in a monogamous relationship, because if you look at, first of all, he believes that we are animals, or we're mammals, but he believes in this. It's like an animalistic thinking, like a lion, for instance. A lion has multiple lionesses that he is mating with and that he is husband to, okay? So, and it's all understood that all of them fall under his caring or his command or whatever it is. And they all get along and they all love each other and they all have their cubs and everything is great. And so this particular person, this young man I'm speaking of, he tends to think that it's unnatural to be monogamy. And what is hurting Western relationships and Western culture is trying to make people that are not designed, not my words, his, not designed for monogamy, trying to make them, we're really designed for polygamy, and trying to force us to be monogamous. I'm just saying. Now listen, I respect this young man. So I listened to his conversation. And to some degree, because I can be very liberal-minded at times. So I heard what he said, and I didn't disagree. I disagreed, but I understood.
Right.
I understood.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't agree for that. You guys know I don't play that.
Right.
You know, I just don't even try it with me. I feel like my feeling on that is I turn down men every day. Okay? Every day. If I'm in a relationship and men approach me outside of my relationship partner, it is very easy for me to tell them I'm already spoken for. Thank you very much. Okay, it's very easy for me to do that. One, I am respecting my partner. And two, I'm respecting myself. Three, I respect the covenant that we have, or the relationship boundaries that we have together. That's for me. That's how I operate, okay? But I'm trying to, like I said, be liberal-minded and try to understand that I'm not the only person that thinks the way I feel. There are other people that think other ways. So how do you feel about that?
Okay, so let me start off with this. I'm not saying what's good for the goose is good for the gander. But I'm so glad you gave that example because, girlies, please beware. There's a lot of times where men will try to sell you something, and just because the BS sounds good, please don't fall for it. I mean, please don't fall for it. Because in that example, he brought up lions. And yes, we are a mammal, but he forgot to mention we're the only mammals with emotional intelligence. So with that being said, don't compare us to animals because we have different expectations. We process feelings different. We have a different, you know, our mind is working in different ways. So saying that to say, I would have respected his argument a bit more if he would have talked about different cultures, like, you know, Eastern world cultures or things of that nature who have polygamous relationships and they work. And they work because of the expectations. I'm not saying polygamy can't work. I'm just saying be upfront about it. You know, if I don't like the fact that these men are getting in monogamous relationships and you know the standard and you know the expectation and you go back on that and you betray your person, that's the problem. If you come in it, if you come into the situation and you're like, I actually do want to have 2 wives. I do want to date 2 people at the same time.
Then I get the opportunity to say, that's not for me.
Exactly. But be honest. Be upfront. I respect honesty. I personally wouldn't want to be in a polygamous relationship, but I don't down the people who do.
I mean, go for it. Do
exactly. What works for you works for you.
Absolutely.
But also, I think people need to understand what they're signing up for too, because these men will say that, but do you know the responsibility that comes with polygamous relationships? A lot of times people who are in polygamous, especially polygamous marriages, where countries that allow them to be in polygamous marriages, they have the money to pack it up. They have the money to take care of multiple families at one time. Exactly. Yeah. Sweetie, you're missing a step. You in it for the enjoyment, but you don't know the providing part. Like, sweetie, no. Like, with great reward comes great responsibility. You're not doing it all. I can't have you out here. You want this big job. That's another thing, y'all. This is just a sidebar. But I do not like when men be worried about, like, gold diggers and you don't have to go.
Oh, sweetheart.
You don't have the gold. Why are you on her feeling bad for Dr. Dre? You don't have Dr. Dre money. Let alone, are you married? Where is the alimony coming in? Where are you getting money taken away from you? So, like, it just be like, okay, we have to have some self-awareness here. We have to know what's truly going on. We have to know how this is working. You want to do something, you want to reach something. How does it work in real time? How does it work in real life? And yeah, you know, the boys don't be thinking sometimes. They be trying to sell a dream. They be trying to sell a dream. You got to be quicker than them. You got to be quicker than them because I'm telling you.
You better. Or you will be talked out of all of your standards.
Your mind.
Yes, you will be talked out of everything.
Is why sisterhood is so essential. Because there has been times, and I'm not saying this like I beat the game every time. There's been times where I've been in a relationship before and, like, you know, he's telling you something or he's telling you like a certain standard or ways that the relationship should work. And it's like, here it's making sense. And then you go back and tell your friends and they're like, girl, no.
Girl, right.
Like, girl, no. Like,
what
it don't
did he
work
say?
like that. Like, he did what? Like, no, baby. We don't play like that.
No, that's not how we roll. That's not how we roll.
No, it's not going down like that. So that's why I feel like, you know, sisterhood is very essential because that keeps you grounded and letting you know. And a lot of times, too, why do dudes say this? Why don't they always be like, oh my gosh, they're just jealous of us? How are they jealous and they know what you putting me through?
That's how they keep you on board. By making it feel like it's you and me against the world, see? So ignore all of them because they're just haters, right? They just hating on us, baby. You know how we roll.
And I just be like, hating.
Why?
You know it got to be something to hate on, right?
Why would they be hating on this?
You know,
right?
And I'm not saying people
they don't know I cry every night, right?
But see, that's another thing, though. That's another thing. Why would my friends be the not to say some of the girlies don't have jealous friends, not to say some of the girlies don't have hater friends, because some of them do. But particularly in situations that I've been in and the situations the girlies around me have been in, it's just like, we know you trying to throw me for a loop when you say the people around me are jealous because they know what I'm going through. There's nothing to be jealous of. Nobody wants you. You know? I
don't know why I do. Like, I'm just asking myself, that question every day. Why do you want this food? Right? Oh my God. Yeah. So here's another one. So I do have. So just to recap real quick about the table. The table is a place of trust and honesty and respect.
Yes.
Okay. You cannot come in here running somebody's business.
No.
If you get caught running someone's business, you gotta
Go. And can't come back.
Nah, we don't play that. We don't play that. So I do love the fact that the table exists and will be coming back in January, okay? Yes, we'll be there in January. So I remember conversations, you know, with my girls at Central. Let me just say this too. With JBT, you know, I do have a curriculum. And that curriculum is every week we discuss a certain topic. And from that topic, I'll lead that discussion, and then I allow the girls to chime in on how they feel, what they believe, blah, blah, blah. But at Central is a little different. I basically come to school, and I sit down, and I allow the young women to bring up topics and to discuss whatever. When I tell you whatever
tea
I need, and we spill it, it's dripping, it's falling on the floor, okay?
And I mean it.
Yes, so it is a moment of truth. It is a time to talk. It's a time to be heard. It's a time to be respectful. Yes. But all of that goes down at that table.
It does.
So one of the conversations that we have, and I tell you, I speak from my truth, okay? I am not ashamed to speak from my own experiences. So one of the things that we talked about, and I know that we talked about this is very sensitive right now in our city, but I always speak to my girls about being careful who you date.
Oh my gosh. So y'all, this topic is just very, very much so touchy. It's so touchy right now. Okay, so just to keep y'all up and keep y'all in the loop, in the last 2 years, so like since the start of 2020 to the end of 2021, there's been 8 to 12 girlies that have died. And I mean from ages of 16 to ages of, I think the oldest, she might have been 28. And I will say, the younger girlies, like when it was 16 to 17 years old, and you know, I think it was like 2 15-year-olds, they died near their home. You know, near their home and inside of their home or in somebody else's home. That situation. But then you've had a great deal of these girlies. It's been like 6, 7, 8 of these girlies who have died from being in the car with young men. Yeah. And the relationships have varied. It's been some of the girlies, like I had a friend named TT who was in a car with somebody who she was getting to know. And then you have other situations where people were in the car with people who were like brothers to them, who were like cousins to them, and just different situations, but all in connection with young men, and they've all gotten shot. And what's even more heartbreaking is the fact that a lot of these girlies have had to take headshots. Like, not only were they shot in their cars, they've been shot in various cars. Some of the girlies, like, God rest your not, you know.
Yeah, don't say her name.
God rest their soul, you know. Shot in their own cars, shot in other cars, and different things of that nature. But it's so sad. These headshots are sad. Being shot, period, is sad. Because it's a lot of girlies who have also gotten shot but survived. So,
I didn't know that.
Yes, it's a lot of girlies who
are... I'll edit that up.
Okay, period.
Okay, excuse me.
But yeah, there have been a lot of girlies who have also, you know, gotten shot during this time period. So the gun violence against girls has been heartbreaking. But yes, being sure to make, you know, be careful who you be with. And it's just like, it's so heartbreaking because none of us ever think it's going to be us.
Of course not.
None of us think it's ever going to be us. And then to be put in those situations is even more heartbreaking, because I'm not saying that like there haven't been young men dying in this time period, but the reason I'm putting such an emphasis on these girlies is because these girlies were truly innocent in the fact that they were not people who were going to shoot at anybody. They were not people who was trying to harm anybody. They were not people who had like incited any gun violence. These are people who were truly at the wrong places at the wrong time. Victims to gun violence, never to get another chance at life again. And that's just so heartbreaking for me. And it's just, and this is another thing too, and I'm not sure if this happens in other cities, but I'm going to say particularly in Louisville, because I live in Louisville and this is the city that I've gotten to experience with gun violence. But people do not talk about what happened to the girlies. It takes so much to figure out.
She's a victim of circumstance.
Yes, they don't want to. They never want to tell. Even when there are rewards out here, nobody ever wants to speak up. Like if a dude dies, you automatically know. It take a week, and you like, oh, okay. Even if that person does not go to jail, you know who killed that dude. Right. But the girlies, there have been so many of the girlies murders who have went unsolved, and it's even worse with the fact that they died in cars. So it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like they was out in public and somebody was able to see the shooter walking or anything like that. So it's like if they don't catch that car up, they don't catch that license plate, or they don't catch any street cameras, they truly don't know, and the streets don't want to talk about it. And it's just like, what did you do it for then? You're not proud of it. I'm pretty sure you didn't get any money. It's not giving whatever they was trying to make it seem like it was given, because it's like, I know y'all not killing these girlies for street credit. You don't brag on it.
No, because why would killing a girl give you any type of notoriety?
Exactly.
Why would you get any type of bragging rights because you kill a young woman? I don't understand that. What are you going for?
It's terrible.
It's really sad. It's getting very despicable. It really is. It's beyond sickening, because to be a black woman in this day and age, and I grew up in this city. Okay, I grew up in this city. I, for the most part, raised my children in this city. I always felt safe here. And then to suddenly feel like I've got to watch over my back every time I'm out at the mall, going into the grocery store. But I will tell you this, because I have mentored so many of these young people. It's more often that I know one of these kids. My brother and I were at one of the Taco Bells, and the young man was in the window just being goofy. And when he finally opened up the window to look at me, and I looked at him, and I said, "Don't I know you?" And he said, "Miss Renee." I said, and my brother was kind of like, "Wait a minute, sis, don't say nothing." Because my brother, being a black man also, but still feeling like, we don't know these kids, sis.
Yes. Like,
you got to be careful who and what you, because my brother knows me.
Right.
So he knew what was coming out of my mouth was like, you need to, and my brother was like, "Wait a minute, hold up, sis." And when he found out that I knew the kid, he said, "Sis, you know all these kids."
No, for real.
I know a lot of them. I love them. I've hugged them. I've talked to them. I've wiped tears away from their eyes. I have been there to advocate for them, whatever the need is, whatever the situation is. So, yes, I know them. And I can't start feeling scared all of a sudden because a few of these kids have got guns in their hands that have no business having.
No business with a gun?
With a gun.
With a gun? And
my goodness.
It's very much so scary out here. And I'm not saying that gun violence is not affecting the entire U.S. It's just like the trend of gun violence and like the way it's happening in Louisville right now is truly heartbreaking. And for the girlies out there, please be careful who you get in the car with. Please be careful. Please be careful, because they are truly ruthless. Like, it was a situation on the highway where a man was getting shot at, and literally one of his daughters who had got out the car was running, and they still shot her. Like, they are truly ruthless with these guns. They're ruthless with killing right now.
So they meant to do. That was intent.
Yes. And like, to harm a little girl, like, y'all are out of y'all minds. The sense is not there anymore. So it's just like, it's too much going on at one time. Please be careful who you're in the car with. Even when it is your family members too. I know when your family members are in the streets, you still want to see the best of them, because they are still people.
And you love them.
You love them. And I'm not saying that they don't have a good heart, but I'm also saying that you truly don't know everything that they have going on. And it might not even particularly be them who's pulling up on people or robbing people or doing this and this, but just sometimes that association with the people around them can get them harmed. So it's just like, please be careful who y'all are in the car with. I would suggest for all the girlies dating, wait a second. And I'm a person who likes to be courted, so I understand, like, you know what I'm saying, wanting somebody to come get you from your house, but we might have to be driving to the date.
Can we meet up?
Driving, like, we got to be driving our own cars and things of that nature. And if you don't have a car, you're a girlie who don't have a car, and you want him to pick
Uber, Lyft.
Uber and Lyft, exactly. Period, poo. But getting in his car, you need to fill him out.
Because you don't know him well enough to get in his vehicle.
Exactly. So, fill these situations out a bit more, and
And let's just say, if you're in a relationship with a guy and you know he's in the streets,
please don't get in the car with him. Please don't get in the car with him. And as we're saying these, as we are giving this advice and saying these things, in no way are we saying that it was these girlies' faults at all.
Hell no.
It was never these girlies' faults. They didn't deserve that at all. We're just saying from her going forward, all we can do is try to learn from these tragedies. And, you know, at that point, we have to adapt. Life as we knew it before this cannot continue to go on that way. So, like, please just be careful. Be intentional with who you get in the car with. And, you know, like we said before, it doesn't always have to be who you're dating. It can literally be a family member.
It really could.
So, yeah.
It really could. So, what is next for you?
What is next for me? What is next for me is graduation.
Yes, girl. Hey.
Graduation. We are so excited to graduate.
Yes.
And from there, I'm going to continue to build my platforms. Make sure y'all go follow me, Niyah News again.
That's it. Make sure you do that.
Just going where God leads me. Going where God leads me. I don't have every single detail figured out right now. I have a vision. You know, I do have a vision for my life, though. I know the places that I want to go. I know the goals I want to reach. And I know the heights I want to see. So at that point, just working towards it. Just working towards it. I know I have a lot of groundwork to do. I have a lot of foundation to set. And I'm okay with doing that. But I'm definitely enjoying my life. And that's really the plan. After graduation, I need a couple vacations. So I keep calling it a tour, but I'm not really going on a tour. But, you know, like, just enjoying life. Enjoying life, being able to balance work, being able to balance fun, and being intentional. You know, my biggest thing is fulfilling my purpose each year.
Amen.
Fulfilling my purpose is essential, you know, and doing that work. And sometimes it doesn't look the way we want it to. Or it doesn't go as fast as we would like. But we're traveling on divine timing.
That's it.
And everything's going to work.
And everything needs to be done with intention.
Exactly.
Yes. And expectation. Know that there is a purpose for each of us. Yeah. We may not be to that place where we feel, or in the space that we feel we're, you know, this is what God has for me. And if you're not there, come on out of that space. It's easy. All you have to do is start over. It's okay to start over.
It is okay. I just
oh my God, start over.
Please be okay with starting over. You deserve more.
Exactly.
You can get more.
Absolutely.
It is okay to crawl before you walk.
Absolutely.
You got this.
You traveled in the wrong spot. You traveled in the wrong space. You're with the wrong people. Start over. Start over. It's a new day coming. The Lord is willing. And you're able, guess what? Go on ahead and start that day over. Right. Start it over. So I think how I want to tie this video up is something that I didn't even say at the beginning, which you know I was supposed to. Girl, if you sit here and watch this whole video and you have not yet subscribed, what's wrong with you?
Let's go ahead and hit that red button.
Yeah, go on.
Right there.
Go on ahead.
And while you're at it, hit the like button too.
Yeah, and share this video.
Share it. The girls need it.
Drop a comment down below.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Did you like this girl?
I mean, did you like it? Because you might see more of it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
We can have more content.
Right. Okay, we can do a Zoom. I'm just saying. Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So what is the one thing that you would like to leave with the young girls, teenage girls, or young women? What is some great, solid advice that you would like to give to them as we leave from this space?
Period. There's a lot of great pieces of advice I received and had to live through. But the piece of advice I want to leave y'all with is this. Your beliefs shape your reality, okay? So I understand that you're coming into yourself, you know? You are coming into yourself. You're learning yourself. You're experiencing new things. You're experiencing different types of relationships because I'm pretty sure you're forming friendships, ending friendships, forming romantic relationships, figuring out your family life, especially your family life as entering adulthood. But I want you to know that the way you believe is the way you will meet the world.
Girl, that's hitting me. That's hitting me so different. We're talking about manifestation. You do know that.
Yes.
Okay.
We are. And just even on a simple level, like just simply believing that you're going to have a great day. And that great day showing up for you. Believing that things can work out for you. Believing that you are enough.
Shapes your reality.
It shapes your reality.
Your thoughts can become right here.
That.
Okay?
So,
yes.
Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself even when you don't feel like it. Believe in yourself even when you don't know how things are going to work out. Believe in yourself even when you are unsure. Because I'm pretty sure there are girlies out there. You don't know everything you want to do with your life. You might not know what you want to be right now. You might not know, you know, where you see yourself in 5 years right now. But just still believing in yourself and believing in your own work ethic and believing in your purpose in life.
Even if you don't know what that purpose is yet.
Exactly. Believing in it. And
but knowing that there is a purpose.
Yes. And trusting in
it.
Yes.
God formed you for a purpose.
For a reason.
Yes. You are not here by default. You are here
by accident.
On purpose. Absolutely.
So, just knowing that. Your beliefs shape your reality. Be careful how you think. Because as you think is as you are.
Honey.
So, be careful with your thoughts. And like I said before, those are tying in. As you think is as you are. But as you think is also the world you will meet. So,
every day.
You know, let's start this off on a positive note.
Yes.
Let's live beautiful
We're bringing
lives.
in 2022.
And I'm not saying it's always easy. Because it's not. And life does present problems that are out of our control.
But that's when your faith is supposed to be stronger than that problem.
Exactly. And you're going to get through it. And you're going to be fine.
Exactly.
Yes,
so you know you're going to be met with adversities. That's just the life that we have. That's what we go through.
Yes.
But we go through them knowing that we don't have to be alone. You girls, we're never alone. And don't ever think you are, okay? So you guys that know me know I'm a praying woman, okay? If I'm not around, you got to get to know him for yourself, okay? Oh, my goodness. I have so enjoyed this. I feel like our time off camera was crazy.
It was.
That was the time I'm mad that we didn't get on camera, but everything happens for a reason. I know we said some good stuff here. There was some good meat and potatoes on the plate. This was a good food for your soul video. You should be nice and full, sweetheart.
I hope so.
Okay. If you didn't get enough, just go ahead and hit the replay again and watch it over. Okay? And I mean that. Yes.
So, yes.
So, y'all going to see more of her, okay, with me. I'm not going to say too much right now on YouTube, but just wait for it, okay? In the meantime, you know I always say, I love you guys like a fat lady loves cake. And make sure you keep your heads up and your eyes open. Bye for now.
See y'all.
Bye.
Period.
Okay, that's good.
That was amazing.
That was cool.